Hello, biology students. So I just wanted to give you a little overview of where you should be with your projects, and then I'm going to explain today's assignment. So as we look, we're down to either April 23rd, the A day, or April 24th, the B day. And at this point, you should have already gone through the online simulation of the predator-prey website and then filled out the Google Forms with that as well. And now you're watching this video for instructions for the next worksheet where you're going to be creating a predator-prey graph as well as doing some calculations that I will run through with you. And then you'll submit that worksheet specific for your biome. Next class, you're going to be working on a human impacts investigation, and then you'll see right here in bold, it says summative next class, right? And at this point, you're going to want your project assembled for the summative. So now I rolled out this template for the slides a couple of classes ago where it just has easy an organization for all the parts of your project. So you can link in your food web there. You can link in these certain worksheets that you've done that you're going to actually need to apply on your summative. So your summative will be working with your biome. You're going to have to be doing different scenario problems based on your biome. So things like calculating energy transfer, talking about abiotic and biotic factors, looking at food chains, food webs, all what we've been talking about. All right, so if you have any questions on that, please reach out. But today what you're going to do is you're going to complete this predator-prey worksheet. So if we look at that, this is assigned to you. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be choosing a primary consumer for your biome, and you're going to list it here. So you'll fill that in. And you're going to try to control the population of your primary consumer in your biome because there's been some issues. So we have starvation as an issue. So you're going to introduce a secondary consumer to control that growth. So the secondary consumer is going to be the one that eats that primary consumer. So there's less prey in your biome in order to solve this starvation issue. So what you're going to do is you're going to then say what your secondary consumer is. You're going to look at your food chains, your food web to figure out what that secondary consumer is. And now what you're going to do is you're going to have to fill out this prey population change for the next generation here. You're going to have to do some calculations. And you're going to use this data to make a graph. So here, predator population, again, you can just write your predator here, your prey here, and then just again, what is your prey here? This column shows what the predation is, meaning how many organisms of the prey are eaten by the predator. And then starvation is how many are dying because they don't have enough food. So if we look in the year 2018, we see that there's 10 predators. And we know that there's going to always be more prey than there are predators. So in this case, we have 2,000. We're starting out with 2,000 prey population right here. But then in this generation, we're going to have 800 offspring of prey. So 800 are born in this generation. And then 400 are eaten by that secondary consumer. So they're preyed upon, or what we call predation. So we're losing 400, and then 100 die of starvation. So how I calculated this positive 300 change here is what I did. So if I get my calculator out, I did. All right, I know 800 are being born, so that's 800 new prey, but 400 die because of predation. So I'm going to subtract 400. All right, then I have 400 left. Then I'm going to also subtract this 100 because 100 die because of starvation. So I'm subtracting 100 to get a total of 300. So there's going to be the prey population change for the next generation is going to be a positive 300. Therefore, when I look over to 2019, I see that the prey population here is a total of 2,300. So there was a total of a 300 population or organism increase in that from generation 1 of 2018 to generation or year 2 of 2019. So again, I'm just going to show you how I did this for 2019 as well. There's also another way you can figure this out. You can do the prey population here from year to year. So if you look at 2,300 to 2,000 here, you can see, all right, 2,300 we added 300 to get a total of plus 300 here. But I'm going to just go through this calculation again of how I got this positive 200 number. So again, in 2019, I'm going to have 920 born. So I'm going to put 920 in my calculator. And then 480 are being preyed upon. So I'm going to subtract 480, they're being eaten. And then I'm going to subtract 240 that are dying of starvation. So here, now I have 200. So positive 200 here. Here we get some numbers that are definitely going to be negative, which means that the prey population decreased over time. And you can see that that's happening as we go through these years here. So first, you're going to fill out this data, and you're going to then use this data to construct your graph. So now you're going to graph the prey and predator populations on a separate sheet of paper. You can also use Google Sheets. Honestly, I think this is going to be a lot easier if you just do it on a piece of paper and then submit a picture to it. And you're going to paste it into this document. So this is a little bit different looking graph here because it has multiple y-axes. Because if we look up here, you're going to use this data here, and we see that the predator population is a lot smaller here than the prey population. And therefore, we're going to need two different scales of populations for my amount of organisms or the population for these. So I just made up a data set here that yours is going to look different. But you can see on the left side here, I have the number of prey. So here I'm going up by 100 to 1,200, and my prey are going to be in blue. And then here I have number of predators on the right side here on this axis, and so that's going to be in red. And then of course my x-axis is going to be years, so I went from 2000 to 2010. But here you can see right now, I can see the change in my prey population up top with this blue line, and then I see the change in my predator population with the red line. So that's just a little clue on how to make a multiple axes graph. So again, these scales are going to be different. The scale for the predators will be much smaller and lower because there are less predators, and the scale for the prey here will be much larger and go up by higher numbers because there are more prey. So that's just a little hint on how to construct your predator-prey graph. And again, you're wanting to be specific here. Here I was general because I don't have a biome, but you're going to want to be specific of what your prey is for your biome, your primary consumer, and then what your secondary consumer is, your predator. And then you'll go through and answer these couple questions here, and then you will submit this document. Please reach out if you have any questions. Good luck.